Hello, my name is Dr. David Palmater. I'm a practicing clinical psychologist and psychology professor. I've created this YouTube channel for parents and couples in order to help them to promote happiness, wellness, and resilience in their family lives. In this edition, I would like to describe a superpower that I believe we all possess, whether we know it or not. I'd like to describe a context for the superpower, describe a method for using it, articulate how it can be deployed in family life, and then review some outcomes that people experience when they use this superpower. I first discovered a glimmer of mine when I was directing a doctoral internship program in the Chicagoland area for clinical psychology students. Early on in the training year, one of my interns had written a good report, and I wrote some positive comments on a yellow sticky tab, attached it to his report, and forgot about it. A couple months later, this intern called off sick, and I needed something that was in his desk, so I called and asked for permission to go into his desk to get the materials, which he granted. And I opened his desk, and right there on the top was the yellow sticky note that I had authored, laminated. This little sticky note that I had barely put any thought and effort into was important enough to this intern to laminate and put on top of his materials. And as I sat there looking at that stunned, I felt like I was Superman who rarely took off my Clark Kent glasses and outfit. And I made a promise to myself to try to use this power of mine more often. One of the most intense ways to discover this power is to write a gratitude letter. A gratitude letter is about 300 words, give or take, 300 words-ish. You want to handwrite the letter. Handwriting's more intimate. Don't tell yourself that you have poor handwriting. I promise you the recipient will experience it as a more personal, intimate expression if it's handwritten. And in these 300-ish words, you tell the recipient what you're grateful for about that person. Maybe things the person already knows. It may be unexpressed things. It may be things you haven't expressed as fully as you'd like, but you put them all down. There's no backhanded compliments. There's nothing like, I love it how you laugh. I wish you would do that more. Nothing like that. Just pure expressions of gratitude. You then schedule an appointment, and you read it to the person. You don't tell them what the appointment's about. This is a surprise. And you don't hand it over for the person to read. That's chickening out. You want to read it to the person. If you're like most of us who do this, you're going to find yourself getting tearful. Many of us, especially we men, are uncomfortable with that, but push through. Realize that the person seeing your tears is going to most likely be deeply moved by those tears. Then when you're done reading the letter, you give it to the person. I'm telling you, this is a phenomenal experience for both authors and those who receive it. How you can use this in a family, if you're a couple, you can certainly agree to swap these. Set a date. A week from now, we'll both read our gratitude letters to each other. If you're a larger family, you can assign one member of the family, let's say mom, is going to receive her gratitude letters from all of us at the end of this week. Next week, it'll be the oldest child, week after that, dad, and so on and so forth. For children who are too young to be able to put together 300 words like that, they might draw pictures or, get help from a parent and do something more limited, but they contribute also. And then when it's that person's turn to receive, you all gather around, and that person just sits and listens to the reading of the letters, to the sharing of the letters, and then is given them. I'm telling you, this is like getting injected with joy juice. I've done this a number of times myself. I've had countless numbers of my students, workshop attendees do them, and it's 99% of the time an extremely powerful and life-affirming experience. The only time I found it doesn't go well is if there's a lot of toxic tension between the author and the recipient already. And in those instances, the recipient sometimes can believe the letters in effort to be manipulative. But again, that is a very rare outcome. I hesitate to even mention it. The research on gratitude letters suggests that they significantly improve experiences of happiness, life satisfaction, mental health. There's actually evidence that they increase neural sensitivity to experiences of gratitude. They've been found to reduce depression, increase healthy eating behaviors, and so forth. Also, recipients of my letters have told me that they've discovered them or rediscovered them a year or two later, reread them, and it was as if they were reading them for the first time. They were once again uplifted, had an intense feeling of joy and appreciation for what I had written, as well as for our ongoing relationship. So I hope you'll give this a try and see what it's like to put on a cape and fly around a little bit, having that kind of effect on other people. If you do, I hope you'll put the experience in the comments sections of this video. I'd love to read them. That's it for this edition. Please remember, we are made for love.